All right, let's talk about a name that's pretty much infamous in the crypto world. Terra. Seriously, it's a story that has everything. Huge ambitions, a collapse of epic proportions, and, weirdly enough, a ghost that just refuses to disappear.
Okay, let's just start with the number that really puts this whole thing into perspective. $40 billion. I mean, just let that sink in. That's how much value was just gone, wiped out, vanished into thin air in just a few days back in May 2022. It was like a financial black hole that just swallowed up people's life savings.
And that right there is the big question, isn't it? After a disaster that massive, you'd think the project would be totally dead and buried. A ghost story you tell new crypto investors. But it's not. So why on earth are we still talking about Terra? Well, that's what we're here to figure out.
So to really get what's happening with Terra today, we have to go back. We have to revisit the scene of the crime, so to speak. This is the story of how one of crypto's brightest stars became one of its darkest black holes.
See, the whole Terra ecosystem was built around this really ambitious idea. It was kind of the holy grail for a lot of people in crypto. A stablecoin that could hold its value at $1, but without needing a giant pile of actual dollars sitting in a bank somewhere. It was supposed to be pure, decentralized money. A beautiful idea, really, that went spectacularly wrong.
So, what even is an algorithmic stablecoin? Think of it like this. It's a cryptocurrency that's programmed to always be worth $1. Instead of having a vault full of cash to back it up, it uses a super clever set of rules, an algorithm, to automatically buy and sell itself to keep the price locked at $1. The code was meant to be its own little central bank, managing the money supply completely on autopilot.
Now, this whole system was this really delicate balancing act between two different tokens. You had the stablecoin, which was called UST, and its partner token, Luna. They were supposed to work together like a seesaw. If the price of UST went a little above $1, the system would let you trade in Luna to create more UST. More supply means the price drops back to $1. And if UST fell below $1, you could do the opposite, trade in your UST to get some Luna, which would shrink the supply and push the price back up. It was supposed to be this perfect, self-correcting financial machine. Keywords, supposed to be.
But in May 2022, that beautiful theory just completely fell apart. The stablecoin, UST, lost its $1 peg, and the algorithm, well, it basically panicked. It went into overdrive, printing Luna tokens at an absolutely insane rate. We're talking trillions of them, in a desperate attempt to fix the price. This kicked off what everyone now calls the death spiral. The value of both tokens was just obliterated. That $40 billion we mentioned, poof, gone. And the founder, Do Kwon? Well, he eventually ended up in jail, facing a long sentence for fraud.
And right there, that should have been it. Game over. End of story. But this is crypto, right? Nothing is ever that simple. Instead of just letting the project die and fade into obscurity, the community, they decided to do something absolutely wild.
This is the twist in the tale. The project didn't die. It split. The community actually voted to fork the blockchain. Basically, they hit copy-paste and created two separate, distinct chains. It's like they created two parallel universes for Terra, both rising from the ashes of the original.
So this split created two completely different projects with two very different futures. On one side, you've got Terra Classic. This is the original old-school blockchain. You can think of it as the ghost chain. Its tokens got new names, LUNC and USTC, and it's now run 100% by its community. And their main mission? Just one big goal: burn away the trillions of excess tokens that were created during the collapse. Then on the other side, you have Terra 2.0. This is the fresh start, the brand new blockchain. It has a new Luna token, but, and this is super important, they completely ditched the algorithmic stablecoin idea. Their goal is more traditional. Let's forget the past and try to build new apps and attract developers.
All right, let's zoom in on what I think is the most fascinating part of this whole saga. Terra Classic's absolutely radical experiment to bring itself back from the dead. And it all comes down to one thing: the token burn.
The mission sounds simple, but the scale is just monumental. See, with trillions and trillions of these Loon tokens floating around, they're practically worthless. So the community decided the only way to maybe, just maybe, bring back some value is to get rid of them, to literally destroy them. So they all united around this one strategy: continuously send tokens to a special crypto address, a dead wallet, where they are gone forever.
And believe me, this isn't just talk. It's happening, and at a pretty huge scale. Just to give you a concrete example, A massive crypto exchange like Binance has been burning billions of Lunk tokens every single month just to support the community's effort. I mean, that's a major player in this space actively participating in this wild collective experiment to reduce the supply.
But we've got to be real here. Let's put this into perspective. Burning billions of tokens sounds like a lot, and it is. But when you look at the total supply, it's kind of like a drop in the ocean. As you can see, even after burning hundreds of billions of tokens, it's still just a tiny fraction of the trillions that are out there. So yeah, this is a very, very long uphill battle.
And here's what's so wild about all this. Who's in charge? Nobody. There's no CEO, no company pulling the strings. Every single decision for Terra Classic, I'm talking everything from network upgrades to how much tax they should charge to fund the burn, it's all proposed, debated, and voted on by anyone who holds the token. It's decentralization in its purest, and yeah, probably its most chaotic form.
Okay, so we've had the collapse, the split into two chains, and this massive token burn experiment. So what have we learned from this whole roller coaster ride? Let's try to break down the key takeaways and look at what the future might hold, because it is definitely still risky.
I think this whole saga has taught the crypto world some really tough but important lessons. The biggest one, algorithmic stablecoins can and do fail spectacularly. They're just incredibly risky. We also learned that decentralized governance isn't some magic solution. It's hard work, constant debate, and a real grind. But maybe the weirdest lesson of all is that a crypto project can actually survive its own death. It can outlive its creators and its original purpose and just take on a whole new life of its own.
So when you look ahead, you've got these two very different paths. Terra Classic, or LUNC, is basically a massive, high-stakes gamble. It's super volatile, and its entire future really just depends on one thing. Can this token burn actually work? Can it create enough scarcity to get people interested again? Then you have Terra 2.0. It's playing a much safer game without that risky stablecoin. But its challenge is totally different. It has to convince developers and users to come build on it in a market that is already incredibly crowded.
And that really brings us to the final, lingering question. What exactly is Terra today? Is it crypto's greatest comeback story in the making? A real testament to the power of a decentralized community? Or is it just a ghost that refuses to fade away? A cautionary tale, a lesson that the market just won't let us forget. The truth is, that final chapter still hasn't been written.